Does it feel like there are no good women anymore? We certainly hear from both women and men that modern women only want you for your money, and they treat you like shit just for fun. And when you do end up getting out into the dating world, whether it's on a dating app or in person, that's all you seem to encounter. People who have no respect for you and only care about shallow things like money. We hear from men that all they care about is finding a woman who wants to make a long-term relationship happen and form a deep connection. And we hear from women that men don't care about forming a long-term relationship. They just want to sleep around and use them and take advantage of them. So on the surface, it seems like there's a blatant contradiction, but actually, both men and women's complaints have merit. We're all coming into contact with some of the worst people out there. The reason for this is that our culture is set up to empower the very worst in people. Let's take a look at the dating world for an example. A young woman growing up in today's world, and really for the past several decades, will hear from the movies that she watches, the teachers that she has, the books she reads, from her parents, her friends, from the culture around her, that she needs to be a badass bitch. Not to give a fuck about relationships and men. To only focus on money, on career, on, changing the world. A woman who is actually interested in forming relationships, who sees connection as important, who is connected with herself and comfortable being a woman and is capable of empathy. She's going to think that she is, old hat. She's outdated. She's not desirable by men. She's not strong in character. She is not going to feel empowered. Whereas the woman who is insecure, who resents being a woman, who doesn't have empathy, who resents the responsibility of being in a relationship, and only sees other people as a source of validation for her empty self, she is going to hear this messaging and feel empowered by it. The result of this is that the good woman is going to end up quiet, in the background, not putting herself forward with pride, but hiding in the shadows. And for men, we grow up hearing that asking a woman out is annoying, that women hate having men come up and talk to them. I mean, the whole Bumble dating app is based on this premise, that men talking to women is annoying. So the good men out there hear this and think, well, okay, I'll do the right thing. I won't talk to women then. Meanwhile, all the bad men out there continue to ask women out, continue to talk to them, because that's what bad men do. They don't care about what's right or wrong. And so the result is that all the good men are quiet and in the background, while the terrible men are the only ones who will ask the women out. What a lot of people don't seem to understand about, moral statements declared on a cultural level, when a movement declares something, like when feminists say, don't harass women, don't approach women, don't make them feel uncomfortable. The only people who are going to listen are the people who are concerned with doing the right thing. In other words, the good people out there. The bad people aren't going to listen to that. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. So when feminism talks about, don't do this, don't do that, the only people listening are the people who probably would never do any of those bad things anyway. Something I've found is that a lot of women think that those messages are only going to the bad people, which is really peculiar to me, because the bad people don't give a fuck about what you want. That's what makes them bad people. Only the good people are going to be listening to that. Not that I think feminism, the ideas, are motivated by stopping the bad people from doing bad things. I think that's what most people have in their mind, but I don't think that's what feminism is really about. I think what we have in the world right now is the intention of those ideas. But anyway, the ideas prevalent in our culture, namely things like feminism, work to empower the very worst people out there, while the very best people feel ashamed. Now consider a man who, across the room, sees a woman who he thinks is attractive. Before he can do anything at all, his subconscious, the things that he's been raised with in his subconscious, will act to undermine any attempt to, pursue her in any way. Because, if he looks at her and finds her appealing, don't sexualize her. The shame will slip in. Don't sexualize her. Don't look at her in a sexual way. Don't like it. He'll feel like he's harassing her if he goes up and, starts trying to talk to her and ask her out. So before anything can happen, there's a whole list of things that will, leap from his subconscious and sabotage his ability to assert himself, his ability to act. Whereas the bad people out there, that's not going to be in their head, because again, they're unconcerned with doing the right thing. Not that having those processes in your subconscious are the right thing, it's just that's what we've been taught is the right thing. So people who are concerned with doing the right thing are going to pick that up thinking that it's the right thing to do. So the thing is, there are good men and women out there. It's just that they're hidden in the shadows. It's not that women are shit, it's that the shit women out there are the only ones that feel empowered, and because of that, will be the ones who are almost certainly going to be on dating apps, or just in the world, they'll come across more attractive because they're going to have a kind of confident presence to them. They're going to be the ones who will catch your eye, and you'll think, wow, man, she's something. Whereas the quiet girl in the background who sort of is closed in on herself, quiet in the shadows, not really putting herself forward in the world, she's not really going to catch your eye. And outside of dating, here are some other examples of the ways men are made to feel like they should just sit in the background and be in the shadows. We are told that all the amazing men throughout history, all the amazing things that they've invented, that they've thought up, that they've created, all the wonderful things that we have in our lives, the country we live in, electricity, industrialization, all the comforts that we have are all evil and wicked. So instead of being taught that all these great men and their great achievements throughout history are something to look up to and aspire to in yourself, there's something to condemn, to hate, to avoid. Don't be like these guys. Don't go out into the world and create things, because that's evil. We're left feeling unmotivated and just in this motionless state. Where do we go? What do we do with our lives? Why go to college? Why get a degree? Why work on creating something, amazing if it's only going to work to further destroy the earth or work to corrupt humanity into a more, hedonistic or self-obsessed cesspit that it already is, according to what we've been taught. I've heard it countless times from people just casually saying, seriously, that humans are a plague on the planet. People celebrate, Genghis Khan for the amount of people that he slaughtered. I've heard many people celebrate swaths of people dying in Africa from, disease outbreaks. Because, hey, one less person on the planet is a good thing. People literally celebrate death. All these amazing men throughout history worked unbelievably hard to create the incredible, rich, comfortable lives that we live, and all they get from people today, the people who reap the rewards of all their hard work, all they give them is contempt, condemnation, and hatred. A young man growing up and hearing this and seeing this response to all this hard work and all this invention, where is his motivation going to be to work hard to become a great man himself? If all his hard work and his inventions or whatever it is that he creates is going to end up leading to people hating him, where is the motivation? He has every motivation to do nothing with his life, to stay home and play video games all day. The assholes, however, they don't give a fuck. They go to college or just go right into the business world. They get good jobs, they get good pay, they earn tons of money, end up being super successful. What's funny is everybody complains about how businessmen and finance men are all shallow, bad people, but the thing is, we tell all the good people not to enter that world, which only ensures that only bad people are going to be there, and then we complain about the fact that none of the good people whom we told not to enter that world aren't in that world. It's kind of funny. We're told that a man who stands by his word, who is unapologetic about what it is that he wants, who's fearless, strong, a man who stands by his judgments, who's principled, all that is old-fashioned. It's chauvinistic. No, it's all toxic. No, they say the world needs a new breed of man, one who is softer, quieter, one that won't tell a woman what he wants, but rather be told what he wants. No, they say men have been evil brutes for millennia and we should all feel guilty about it. So the result of all of this, all the crap that we are raised to believe, we end up unmotivated, unproductive, unconfident, and as a consequence of that, poor and unattractive to women, while all the assholes out there are confident and rich. Our culture empowers the worst people, which is why the best people are quiet, in the shadows, unheard, unrecognized, unrepresented, and they feel hopeless. What's so fucked up about what our culture does to us is that it makes us feel ashamed and have low self-esteem and feel like we don't deserve to go out and live a life precisely because we do deserve to go out and live a good life. Precisely because we do deserve to have a good self-esteem and be confident. You know, the very things that we have in us, you know, our actual goodwill and good intentions, our ability to be empathetic, our ability to, you know, care about other people and want good things for ourselves and others is actually the very thing that our culture twists around on ourselves and makes us feel guilty about ourselves. Because of course, it's that good part of us that allows us to be so hard on ourselves. Whereas the assholes out there, they lack that quality, which is why they don't have any, you know, conscience about doing the bad things that they do. So the answer to this is to empower yourself. Tune out from our terrible culture and start to build up your own little microculture around yourself that works to encourage you to live your best life. Surround yourself with healthy art that shows you how important it is that you go after what it is that you want and pursue a relationship, and that it's actually a good thing that you as a man take action in life. Our culture has stolen your confidence, and it's up to you to build your own little microculture around you that supports and nurtures your self-esteem, rather than our culture crushing it. And to meet good women, it's really important to set your focus on meeting the good women out there. If you're focused on the psychos out there, on all the women you're tired of all the women you don't want to meet, that's going to reflect in your demeanor, in your attitude, and it will absolutely affect your endurance in the dating world. If you feel like all the women out there are crazy and garbage, you're going to get burnt out on dating really fast. But if you realize that there are good ones out there, they're just hidden and in the shadows like me and you, then your attitude will reflect that. You do need that hopefulness and positivity so that when you do encounter a good woman out there, you come across as inviting and fun and someone she actually would want to be around, rather than being bogged down by this, you know, the bitterness and the resentment of the dating world. Because that will come through, even if you're not necessarily feeling it in that moment. Even if you come across a little bit reticent or a little bit tired or not that interested in talking to her, guarded, she's going to pick up on that, and it can tell her that you're not really interested. Do not let the terrible women out there keep you from going after the things that you actually want, like a good relationship. So as for creating your own little healthy culture, check out my art guide in the description below. It's totally free and you can download it on my website. Well, thanks so much for watching. I hope this was helpful or interesting, at least. If you liked it, drop a like, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much.